Well, John Hiller, who came out of the bullpen to get his first start last Wednesday at Texas, only the second start since 1972 for him, is getting his second start of this season here tonight against the potent California Angels. Hiller, winner once and loser 4 times. All those decisions in relief this year. Check that. The last one was they defeated Texas. Ready to go. And here for the play-by-play, Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Here we go. And Torres to lead it off. Flores, and he takes the ball outside, ball 1. Gil Flores, right-handed batting outfielder. Wind up by Hiller. He delivers. There's a bunt attempt, and it's missed by Flores, and the count is even 1-1. Flores batting .345. He's in 14 games. Young man from Puerto Rico, 24 years old. Had his early career hampered by injuries. Last year at Salt Lake, most of the year. Takes the ball in too close. 2-1, the count on Flores. Flores. Hiller ready to work. And delivers. Here's a strike in about the knees. The fastball. Larry Barnett getting a dispute from the leadoff man Flores about that call. 2-2 the count on him. Flores had a shoulder separation last year. He batted .323, though, over the whole year at Salt Lake. Swings at a bounding ball to first base. Thompson knocks it down, picks it up, touches first base, the head of the batter Flores, and there's one away. Jerry Remy, the very fine second baseman, stepping in now. R-E-M-Y, he's hitting .287. Young man from Massachusetts. He batted .263 last season. This is the first look the Tigers have had at the Angels. Didn't even see him in spring training because they trained on separate coasts. Here's the ball outside on Remy, ball 1. Hiller delivers, and the left-hand batter takes an outside pitch again. 2-0, the count on Jerry Remy. Jerry, another one, the age of 24. Mankowski and close on him. There's a strike call. Fastball across. 2-1 on Remy. 1 out, nobody on. The game has just started at Tiger Stadium. The lights are on. There's daylight left around here, however, and a good bit of it. Now Hiller winds and pitches. Remy swings. A pop-up hit into short left field. Going back for Riza. The shortstop. Here's Kemp behind him, and the left fielder Kemp makes a catch. Either one could have taken that one. Dave Chalk will be the batter now, hitting .333, the third baseman in 36 games. The Angels have won 9 of their last 13 and moved up to 4th place. They were 7 games under .500 when they started that move, and now they're 2 under. Here's the motion, and the pitch, it's a ball high on Chalk. University of Texas product. Right-handed batting infielder. He choked that bat just a little bit. The 1-0 pitch swung on and hit high in the air into the infield. Verizon and Fuentes are there. Fuentes back of the mound, and he has it for the out. They go down to 1-2-3 in the California first. And at the end of a half inning, the Angels nothing. The Tigers are coming to bat.
Well, the 2 Tiger farm teams that played last night both had to go into overtime, and both were winners in extra innings down on the Superdome in New Orleans. Evansville, for the 2nd game in a row, got a game-winning home run from catcher Lance Parrish. Lance hit a solo homer to give the Triplets a 10-inning, 9-8 victory over New Orleans. But John Valley had kept them in the ball game with a pair of home runs and 5 RBIs. Evansville is now 21 and 16 on the year, and they're in 2nd place in the Eastern Division of the American Association. Montgomery was rained out of their ball game at Jacksonville. The Rebels are 26 and 15 and rest in 1st place in their Western Division of the Southern League. Down in the Florida State League, Lakeland went 16 innings before defeating Cocoa 5-2. Lakeland is in 1st place in the Northern Division with a 23 and 17 record in the Florida State League. Who throws a baseball harder than anybody in the major leagues, getting ready to pitch now to the Tigers in their first inning. The game is scoreless.
He has a 9-4 lifetime mark against the Tigers. He was 6-4 against the entire league last year. He won 2 and lost none against the Tigers last season. First man to face him will be Phil Mankowski, the left-handed batting third baseman. Phil keeping that average up there. He's batting .321 with 1 home run and 10 RBIs. Like to send Tiger get well wishes to Janine Hand, the Saratoga Hospital. We hope she's up and at him real soon. No score first inning. Nolan Ryan, a young man from Texas, pitching to Phil Mankowski. And there's that fastball. It's high and away, ball 1. Terry Humphrey, the former Tiger, is doing the catching. Chalk at third, Gritch at short, Remy at second, and Ron Jackson at first base. Ryan wheels and delivers. There's a ball in close. That was a breaking pitch. In the outfield, they've got Rudy in left, Flores in center, and Bonds in right. Ryan into action, pitches. It is a ball high, 3-0 on Mankowski. He kicks and delivers, and a strike is called. He hit the inside corner with that one. One of the great strikeout pitchers in baseball history, Ryan. He holds the seasonal record, 383 strikeouts in 1 year. There's a strike called. He got a fastball through, 3-2. Some of the other great strikeout pitchers in baseball history, Rube Waddell, Bob Feller, Sandy Koufax. And he's beaten them all. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Swing, a line shot, base hit, center field. Fastball up in the letters, and Mankowski just gave a little tap and hit it over the infield for a single. Good bat control he has, Paul.
Yes, Phil getting his first taste of Nolan Ryan pitching in this ball game tonight. And he just simply swung it very easily, just met the ball, and Ryan provides so much momentum anyway.
Here's Tito Fuentes stepping in. He'd be batting left-handed now, hitting .311. This will be Tito's 37th Tiger game. Man on first, nobody out. Tigers at bat, first inning, the game scoreless at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Set by Ryan. Fuentes waiting. This will be his first look at this pitcher, except perhaps an exhibition contest. And he takes a strike. Letter high fastball inside corner. Ryan has fanned as many as 19 in one game. He did that in an 11-inning game against Boston back in 74. There's a cut and a miss. One of the great games Nolan Ryan pitched was right here. You remember when he was pitching his second no-hitter of the season and struck out a total of 17 Tigers. That was in 73. He has 4 no-hitters in his career. There's a ball in close. 1-2. He and Koufax share the record for that. 1-2, the count on Fuentes. Nobody down, a man at first base. Ryan sets and delivers. He swings and misses. Looks like his breaking ball down around the ankles, and Fuentes went for a bad pitch. 1 on, 1 out, and Rusty Staub will bat next. Rusty, the Tigers' designated batter, hitting at a .242 clip. Last year, these two teams were 6-6 against each other. Tigers won 4 out of 6 here. The Angels won 4 out of 6 out in Anaheim. It's a strike called at leather high fastball, blazing in from Nolan Ryan. Ryan delivers. It's a strike inside corner. That one in above the knees. 2 strikes to count on him. Outfield is straight up on Rusty Staub. Last time out, Ryan beat the Twins 5-3 and struck out 12. He delivers a curve low, 1-2. struck out 12. Orion tied a record with Sam McDowell. 74 games in which he has fanned 10 or more. Here's the pitch. It's a ball in close. Ooh, that was almost there. 2-2, the count unstopped.
He's got that wicked breaking ball to go with that fastball. Just an unbeatable combination.
When he pitched that no-hitter, too, he had a real good slow curve working for him that Sunday afternoon. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Humphries throw to second. He is safe at second base. It's a strikeout, and Mankowski has a stolen base. Two down, and now Kemp will be the batter. Young man from the University of Southern California coming up now to face the Nolan Ryan. Back where you got 3 straight Californians hitting here against California. All left-hand batters, all youngsters, 22, 22, and 24 years old. Kemp, Thompson, and Corcoran.
And all not very far from where the Angels are based.
Same neighborhood. 2 out, a man at second base. Kemp at the plate. He's hitting .300 now, right on the nose. 6 home runs, 23 runs batted in for Steve. Curve over for a strike. Well, he started him off with a breaking pitch. And Kemp took it all the way for a strike call. Now the set by Ryan. He turns and throws to second. Back in time is the runner Mankowski. Bobby Grich ducking behind him and taking a low throw a little bit to the right field side of the bag.
Seems strange to see Grich at shortstop.
Played it before, but I think he would probably prefer second base. Here's the pitch. It's a strike on the inside corner. That was Ryan's fastball. So the last few hitters, he's been getting ahead. He got behind on Mankowski and then got to a 3-2 count. Mankowski singled. But on Fuentes and Staub, he worked on them pretty good with 2 quick strikes. Now he's got 2 strikes on Kemp. Let's see what it'll give him. It's been a curve and a fastball so far. Fastball very wide. He wasted that one. High and away on Steve. Only 1 year in the minors to Steve Kemp, and he's right up here hitting that big league pitching. Stands very near the plate, waits on a 1-2 serve from Ryan. It's a breaking ball low, gets by Humphrey. Mankowski will make it easy to third. That ball hit in the dirt right near the feet of Kemp in the batter's box. Humphrey blocked it a little bit to his right. It'll be a wild pitch. Peter Gammons of Sports Illustrated is here at Tiger Stadium tonight. He's come in to do a story on Mark Fidrich. Man out third now, 2 out, no score, first inning at Tiger Stadium. Thompson waiting on deck. Kemp the batter against Nolan Ryan. Here's the wind now by the California right-hander. The pitch is a strike. Oh, he struck him out. Got a curve on the inside corner, and Kemp strikes out. So there's a single, a stolen base on a wild pitch, but 3 strikeouts along the way. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of 1. California nothing, Detroit nothing.
Hi, I'm Ernie Harwell, and I'm here with a couple of competitors in the Chrysler Plymouth Dealers Honorary Tiger Bat Boy Contest. Paul, how does this thing work?
Well, any boy or girl between 8 and 14 can sign up at any participating Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Provided they're accompanied by a licensed driver 18 or older.
That's right. And there's no obligation for signing up.
Then 22 Bat Boys will be picked on June the 2nd. Right, Katie?
Right, 22 winners. 1 from each Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
And everyone who signs up gets a free Tiger Iron-On patch.
Great. Well, that about does it. So, kids, grab your parents and stop into any participating Chrysler Plymouth dealer between April 18th and May 27th. And sign up for the Tiger Bat Boy Contest. Thank you, Katie and Paul. And this is...
Oh, there's one more thing.
Yes, Katie?
Shouldn't that be that person?
Well, anyway, see your participating Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer soon.
It's difficult in this busy world to keep up with everything that transpires on a given day, but we at WJR News summarize your world for you evenings at 6. This is Jennifer Moore. Join us.
No score, second inning. It'll be Joe Rudy to lead it off for the Angels, considered as one of the outstanding all-around players in the American League. The former Oakland A, now the property of California, thanks to the heavy shelling out of the old cowboy Gene Autry. Rudy has reached the ripe old baseball age of 30 and still moving along in great style. Batting .259 this season, he takes the strike on the outside corner. 38 RBIs for Rudy and 8 home runs. First played by the Kansas City A's and then moved with them to Oakland finally. There's a swing and a miss on a dipping left-hand curve by Heller. Strike 2 on Joe Rudy. One of the several ball players who's taken to weightlifting. Helped to condition him. Here's a pitch. He swings and fouls it away. This one will be back toward the screen. And then right down below. Strike 2 on Joe. Seattle leads Cleveland 1-0 at the end of 1. Milwaukee and Baltimore, no score. They've completed 2. Montreal beat the Cubs today 5-4, extra innings. Pittsburgh leading the Mets at the end of 2 at Pittsburgh 1-0. No other scores yet. Hiller winds, delivers. Rudy swings, fly ball. Hit into short right center. Here comes Stanley. Won't get there. Drops in front of him, and Rudy has the first hit for the Angels. Little Texas League single dropping into right center field. That'll bring up Bobby Bonds, hitting .274, 8 home runs, and 24 RBIs for Bobby. Got his start with the Giants and had a fine career there. They traded him to the Yankees in '75. He stayed there one season and then went to California. Bobby, troubled by injuries last year, had a hand operation finally in August. Fellow hits with power, and he has fine running speed. Bobby Bonds, he swings and misses on the Hiller changeup. Bob Dad was a professional boxer. Swing, another looper, hit the right field, may drop in, and here comes Cochran, can't get it. Drops the ball after picking it up. He fires it back at the Fuentes. He dropped it on one hop, and 2 singles very much alike. Rudy and Bonds have hit a couple of little Texas leaguers. And here's Don Baylor, who's hit a lot more than Texas leaguers in this ballpark. You remember a few of those, don't you, Paul Caray?
Oh, you bet. This guy has great power. He's not hitting all that well so far for the Angels. He's been a little disgruntled over the fact that he's been having to play the role of the DH. But he's got that power and speed.
Batting .203. 7 home runs for Baylor, 19 runs batted in. Former Baltimore Oriole. And he takes a strike call. Baltimore dealt him off to Oakland last year, where he hit the .247 and had 15 homers. Infield and double play depth. Hiller in early trouble now. 2 men on and nobody down. No score, second inning. Set to kick the pitch. He swings and fouls it on the screen. Got that fastball in on the hand from John. Baylor got started early in baseball. He broke into the age of 18. He's still only 27, and he's been around since '67. Baltimore kept him in the minors quite a bit because of all the talent they had in outfield and at first base. Now the set, the pitch. He starts the bunt and takes the ball outside. California broadcast team across the way. A couple of Michiganders beaming it out for California. Dick Enberg and Al Wisk. Don Drysdale taking a few days off. Here's the set now by the Tiger left-hander Hiller. High foul fly. May go out of play. Thompson coming over near the seats. He has the room, but he overruns the ball. It was about 3 or 4 yards away from the barrier. Not real high, and Thompson ran under it, went to the fence, and then he couldn't go back and retreat. it falls in safely. A foul fly. 1-2 the count on Baylor. Baylor, a lot like Bonds, in that he not only has power, but he has good running speed. Well, the outfield straight up on Don, and Hiller's got to go to work on him again. John sets and delivers. Here's a little pop foul over toward first base. Here's Thompson. He has it for the out. Check swing foul ball, and Thompson had a little trouble getting around the runner at first base, Bobby Bonds, but he made it over there in foul territory to make the catch. Now we'll see Ron Jackson come to bat, the right-hand batting first baseman from Bessemer, Alabama. Jackson hitting .250 in 21 games. Another big, husky, strong hitter. Just passed his 24th birthday about a week or two ago. He's been up with the Californians a couple of times. Swings and misses on the Hiller changeup. Jackson last year and the year before was at both Salt Lake and at California. Finally made it last year as a regular with the Angels, getting into 127 games. They've had him at third base, the outfield, first base. He swings and misses. Breaking ball, and Hiller took a little off that one, too. Little bit of a breeze blowing out from the right field corner toward the left. Coming out of the south to the southeast. Hiller checks his time with his catcher, Milt May. No score. Here's the pitch. Watch out. In close, and he backed up and lost his helmet. Del Crandall is the first base coach. Dave Garcia coaches his third. Dave was at Cleveland, you remember, coaching, and Crandall was the manager at Milwaukee. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball low. Good stop by May. He short hop one that hit in front of the plate. 2-2.
Crandall spent all last year at Salinas, I believe, in the California State League.
Out there in his home territory. Well, Garcia from out that way, too. Now waiting on a 2-2 pitch is Jackson. He swings and fouls it away. Down the right field side, it'll reach the seat. The stories out of Cleveland concerning the imminent dismissal, rumored from Frank Robinson. Several have mentioned the fact that Garcia was offered the job and turned it down. He didn't want to leave California or leave the coaching ranks. Hiller checking his sign. It's a 2-2 pitch again to Jackson. Ron swings to the bounding ball, hit up the middle, base hit. That'll get a run in probably. Rudy rounding third, coming home. Bonds takes third on the single, and California moves in front 1-0. That was a hard one-hopper to the glove side of Ariza. He couldn't get over towards second to stop it, and it got through for a single. Man on first, man on third, one run in, one man down, and Bobby Grich the batter. 1-0 California. Grich hitting .267, 5 home runs, and 17 RBIs.
That was the first well-hit ball off Hiller tonight.
Yep, the other two were just a couple little Texas leaguers that set the table for Ron Jackson. The Tigers will keep their infield and double play depth in this situation. 1-0 California. Grich with that short stroke of his at the plate takes the ball in too close. Bobby back in the state where he grew up, although he was born in Muskegon, Michigan. Thompson holding on the bag with Jackson at first base. 1-0 Angels. Here's a ball outside from Hiller. 2-0 the count.
Tells you a little bit about the power and speed of this Angel lineup when they've got a Grich batting in the 8th position.
Pretty indicative. Hiller ready, delivers. Here's a fly ball at the center, about medium depth. Stanley comes in a little bit, makes the catch. Here's the tag at third, and Bonds is coming home to score. The ball gets by Fuentes. Jackson breaks the second. Throw to Verizon, not in time. 2-0 California, and now they've got a man at second and 2 outs. So Grich will get a sacrifice on the fly to Stanley, and then Stanley will be charged with an error. As the ball got away from the infield. And here is the former Tiger, Terry Humphrey, who's won himself a regular job out there in California. Batting .227. He's been in 32 games. He's the catcher. Here's a strike called on Caray, the lean man from Oklahoma. Hiller pitches, and Humphrey looks at a ball low. Jackson on second, 2 out. California 2, Tigers nothing. Swing and a tip to the mid of May. Angels 2 runs and 3 hits coming in this inning. Here's the set by Hiller. The left-hander kicks and deals. Here's a bounding ball to short. Verizon short hops it. The throw to Thompson is in time, and the side retires. However, the Californians pick up a couple. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 man left. At the end of an inning and a half, California 2, Detroit nothing.
Hazy, hot conditions will hold through the week as the WJR weather forecast from Mal Sillers for Greater Detroit reads fair to partly cloudy with widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers through Thursday. Low temperature tonight, 62 to 65. Tomorrow's high, and Thursday as well, 86 to 89 degrees. Right now, winds are southerly at 7. Humidity is 53%. And under partly cloudy skies, it's 80 degrees at Detroit's Metro Airport. In town, 80 and mostly clear at Detroit City Airport. Pontiac reporting in with 77. It's 78 and mostly clear in Ipsy. And Lansing has clear and 79 degrees. Repeating again at 8:30, it's mostly clear and 80 degrees at Detroit's Metro Airport. And MEP reporting no trouble at all on any freeway or Detroit area surface streets. From Ty Cobb to Mark Fidrich, Radio 76 has been part of it all. It's sports information you've come to expect from WJR Detroit.
Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
You're just 3 hours away from the Captain, Jay Roberts, on Radio 76 at 11:30 tonight on America's great radio station, WJR.
Jason Thompson will lead it off against Nolan Ryan now, the flamethrower from California. Thompson hitting .268. He has 27 RBIs, the team leader. And he also leads in home runs with 7. Ryan ready, delivers, and Jason takes a high hardwood, very wide ball 1. Here's a curve dipping down around the feet. 2-0 the count on Jason. Tomorrow night is Irish-American night. We'll have some colorful pregame ceremonies beginning at 7:30. The game itself gets underway at 8 o'clock. It'll be Roberts against Tanana. We hope you'll be out for that one. Now the 2-0 delivery. It's a ball very high. 3-0 and Jason Thompson. Repeat the announcement we made a little bit earlier that Vern Ruth has been placed on the 21-day disabled list. He has a little stiffness in his right shoulder. Fidrich comes on the active list. There's a ball outside. He walked him on 4 pitches. Thompson, the second Tiger runner. The first one was Mankowski, who led off the first inning with a single. And now Tim Corcoran, another Californian, stepping up, batting .467 at 7 for 15. 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Tim getting a nice hand from the home folks here in his first appearance against them. Not against them, in front of them. Ryan on the mound, pitching to Corcoran. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball outside, and Humphrey wants a little comfort. pass out the All-Star ballots here at Tiger Stadium, so you folks better cast your ballots. 5 Tigers are on that computer punch card ballot this year. LaFleur, May, Staub, Thompson, and Rodriguez. Now the conference over. Corcoran back in the batter's box. 1-0 the count on him. Ryan sets and pitches. It's a strike call. Letter high fastball. Incidentally, I had a little talk with Rodriguez before the ball game. Aurelio says he's working out now, taking batting practice, fielding practice, running, doing everything to get ready and get back in the lineup. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and Tim swings and misses on the curve.
Aurelio was out here early today getting a lot of work out at third base. They were hitting a lot of ground balls at him. Seemed to be treating the leg a little gingerly, perhaps.
Well, it'll take a little time. 1-2, the count on Tim. Ryan to the set position pitches. Here's the fastball high and outside. 2-2, the count on Corcoran. We've got a report now from New York. Boston leads the Yankees 2-1 at the end of 1 at Yankee Stadium. There's a curve. It is a little bit high. It's full count on Tim Corcoran. Ryan's going to that curve quite a bit here in the early innings. Tim sets himself in there. He stands very deep in the batter's box. Full count pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air to left field. Not deep at all. Rudy is under it. Waiting, and it's in his glove for the out. Thompson retreats to first base. Here's Milt May stepping up, the Tigers catcher, with a .262 average. Milt has 3 home runs. He's driven in 13 runs. After Dave Roberts and Tanana duel tomorrow night, there'll be an off day for the Tigers. On Friday, Mark Fidrich comes back to action. He'll be pitching against Glenn Abbott on DeMolay night. The Tigers versus Seattle. Saturday, it'll be Rosema against Poe. And Sunday, Arroyo against Undecided. Tiger Day Saturday, Autograph Day Sunday. May looks at a strike call from Nolan Ryan. Thompson, not much of a lead at first base. Jackson holds with him. The fastball is in too close on Milt May. 1-1 to count on Milt. California picked up 2 in the second. They lead the Tigers 2-0 with the Tigers trying to get back in the second inning. May swings and misses. He took a big ripple. And the fastball came in right through the letters. Two of the hitters who led the hitting against California not in the lineup today for the Tigers. Here's a foul back on the screen. 1-2 on May. Those two are LaFleur and Rodriguez. Rusty Staub was another one of the leaders last year against California pitching only. Hope you'll be out here tomorrow night. Fun at the ballpark. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. It'll reach the seats back at third.
That's the trouble with having only a 2-game series with the Angels and a day off before. You figure your odds are you're going to get Tanana and Ryan. You need a 4-game series so you can spread it around a little bit.
That's a potent 1-2 punch, too, to run up against. Now May digging in, waiting on another 1-2 serve from Nolan. Here it is. He takes the high fastball. That one seemed to sail a little bit for him. 2-2, the count on May.
Doesn't appear that Ryan has really found his rhythm yet in this game.
He's struggling a little bit, and he seems to be getting his curveball over better than the fast stuff. Now the 2-2 delivery. Here's his curve. It missed the mark. Full count. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in the early part of the game. He had an arm operation in late 75, September 75. And 76 was not an outstanding year for Nolan, not by his standards. Outfield around to right on May. Almost no breeze right now. Here's the pitch. He takes a walk. He didn't get the curve in that time. And the Tigers have 2 runners, both on bases on balls. Mickey Stanley, veteran center fielder, getting a nice round of applause. Mick batting .265. One of the most popular of the Tigers, Mickey Stanley. Jason Thompson on second, Milt May on first. Tigers trail by 2-0 in the second inning. And the pitch, he takes the ball outside. That was a fastball, high and away. Good turnout in the bleachers tonight. You can come out and see a baseball game for $1.50. That's hard to beat. A cup of coffee costs almost that much now. Here's a strike call. A fastball in above the knees. Get about a fourth of a shrimp cocktail for that. 2-0. Angels lead the Tigers in the second inning. Stanley waits. The 1-1 pitch is outside. Ryan going to that fastball a lot now. 2-1 the count on Mickey. Tigers did some lusty hitting in Comiskey Park when they swept that series with Chicago. They'd like to continue that hitting pace. Stanley at the plate, 2-1 pitch. Swing and a top foul. He just kicked that one off the mitt of Humphrey. And the count on Mickey, 2-2.
Outfield plays Stanley not to be able to get around on Ryan.
Yeah, they've got Flores over there in right center. Let's see what he'll give him on 2-2 now with 1 out and 2 on. 2-0 California leading in the second. Ryan takes his time. Mickey digging and waiting. Here it comes. He takes a strike, a fastball across. Hit that outside corner. That is a really tough pitch. Right-hander against the right-hander. He gets that fastball on the outside corner just a little bit above the knee. Not too much you can do. That's the 4th strikeout for Ryan. He's retired 5 men and fanned 4 of them. Here's Tommy Baraiza with 2 on and 2 out. Tommy batting .160. This is his 25th game. Takes a wide one, ball 1. Dick Trzaskowski coaching at first. Fred Hatfield, the third base coach for the Tigers. Baraiza looks at a ball outside, 2-0. Another fastball. LCL and Cleveland a tie. They're 2-2 at the end of 3. Baltimore's second lead over Milwaukee at Baltimore, 1-0. They've completed 3 over there. Now the 2-0 pitch, and Baraiza takes a strike outside corner. Tiger fans trying to clap up a little rally here in the second inning with the Tigers trailing 2-0. Now the set by Nolan Ryan. The right-hander fires. It's a fastball swung on, popped in the air to short left. Rudy is there. He's waiting. He has it, and the side retired. The Tigers get 2 walks, and that's all. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left. And at the end of 2, California 2, Detroit 0.
We got together to do it better, and that's what we did.
You know, when things go right, it really feels good. And that's the way it feels around the Marathon Oil Company. Because Marathon isn't just a name. It's a lot of people who got together because they think doing it better is the only way to do it. And if you ask me, I think they're absolutely right.
We got together to do it better. That's what we did.
Company. We got together to do it better, and we did. Jay Roberts here to remind you that I stay up late to provide a little night music and conversation on a program called Night Flight 76. Join me evenings at 11:30 on WJR.
Gil Flores, the leadoff man, coming up now to start things in the third against John Hiller. California picked up a couple in the second. That's the difference in the game. They had singles by Rudy and Bonds, single by Jackson, and a sacrifice fly by Gritch got the second run home. Hiller delivers, and Flores looks at a curve over. Strike one. He bounced unassisted at Thompson the first time at bat. Here's a pitch at low. 1-1 to count on him. Hiller deals in the dirt, and the count is 2-1. John rocks, kicks, delivers. A little pop fly back towards short. Verizon's there. He has it, and that's one away. Flores popping to Tommy Verizon. Jerry Remy will be the batter. Well, John Sanderson is a great Tiger fan, has been, and still is. Been in the hospital for a long, long time, still rooting for the Tigers. We send our very best to him. He's at St. Joseph's of Mount Clemens. Here's the ball low, ball one. Remy, a very fine competitor and highly regarded around the league. He flied to left his first trip. Swings and misses on a Hiller curve, 1-1. Forget, same two teams go at each other tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Hope you'll be out with us. Bounding ball to first. Thompson very wide of the bag. Has it. Race for the bag. Won by Jason. Remy is out to Jason Thompson unassisted. 2 up and 2 away. Here's Dave Chalk. Dave popped to second base. His only trip. A strike called, a curve across. Chalk leaning and waiting. Right-hand batter takes a strike on the outside corner. 2 strikes to count on him. California 2, Detroit nothing. The Angels are batting in the third, the first of a 2-game set. First look these two teams have had at each other this year. He takes a half cut, but it's ruled a ball. He didn't go over. Umpire Barnett checking with Jim Evans at first. He says, you're right. He didn't go across. Still a 1-2 count on Dave Chalk. Here it is. Swing and a bounding foul. It's down past the coach, Dave Garcia. Dave's managed in the Mexican ball. Same league that Rodriguez has often played in the wintertime. Here's a high pop-up over back of Mankowski. Verizon is in left field. Here comes Kemp behind him, and Verizon makes the catch for the out. They go down 1-2-3 in the third. Here come the Tigers to bat in the last half. The third, it is California 2, Detroit nothing.
When it comes to racing, motorcycle champions have one thing in common: Champion spark plugs. Last year, for instance, Champion sparked all 16 major U.S. and World Motorcycle Championships, including motocross and road racing. Is it any wonder when most factory teams go racing, Champion spark plugs go along? So when your bike needs new plugs, do what racers around the world do. Fill her up with Champion.
Tigers coming to bat against Nolan Ryan. It is 2-0 Angels. 2 runs, 3 hits for California. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. And here's the man who's had the only hit, Mankowski. He'll be leading off in the Tiger third against Ryan. Ryan has walked 2, and he's picked up 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. The left-hand batting Mankowski had a 3-2 pitch for a single into center field. The first time up, bats again. Right-hander Nolan Ryan into action, delivers, and Phil takes a ball in close, ball 1. Still daylight here at Tiger Stadium. It is 8:48 on the stadium clock. Ryan wheels and deals. Here's a curve across above the knees, 1-1. Hear the voice of Mark Fidrich from the far corner of the dugout over there at third base. Fastball under the chin. 2-1, the count on Mankowski. Chalk in close at third on Phil. 2-0 California in the third. Low inside curve, 3-1 from Nolan Ryan. Here's a ball outside. He walked him. That'll be the third walk off Ryan. Ryan really seemed to find himself back around 72. Tom Morgan got a hold of him when he was the pitching coach out at California. Worked him out between starts, got him to take a little off his fastball once in a while. And it seemed to get Ryan in the correct groove. He's walked 3. He struck out 4 and allowed a hit. Here's his first strikeout victim, Fluides, coming up again. Batting left-handed, Tito takes a strike, started the bunt, hit the outside corner on him. Baltimore still leading Milwaukee there in the 5th inning now at Baltimore. 1-0, the Orioles ahead. Set by Ryan, and the pitch is a ball outside, a 1-1 on Tito. Boston leading the Yankees there in the third, 2-1 at New York. Mankowski getting a little bit of a lead at first. Ron Jackson holding on the bag with him. The 1-1 pitch coming up to Tito. Very high and wide. 2-1. Ryan's throwing a lot of pitches here in the early innings. The right-hander sets and delivers. Here's a cut and a miss on a pitch that was in close around the knees. 2-2, the count on Fluides. Tito saying something to Barnett and Humphrey as he steps back into the batter's box. 2-2, the count on him. Waiting on deck, Rusty Staub. Here's the pitch. It's a ball outside. There's that full count again. Well, that's been up on the board quite a bit already. Mankowski edging off a little bit at first base. Jackson holding with him. 2-0 California. Tito swings and fouls it on the screen. Just got a piece of that fastball.
When Ryan deals that fastball, Tito doesn't have time to slide that left hand down.
Yeah. Got to just get the bat across the plate. Waiting on another 3-2 delivery from Nolan Ryan. Here it is. He swings and fouls another one on the screen. He took a little off that one. That didn't have the zip that the last one had. 60 feet 6 inches from the plate, and the ball comes up there at 95 to 100 plus miles per hour. You don't have much time, about 2/5 of a second to hit the ball. Here's a swing and a miss. He didn't hit that one. It's the 5th strikeout for Ryan. And Rusty Staub will be the batter. He struck out his first time at bat. They moved the pitching mound back from the plate in 1893. It used to be only 50 feet from the plate. New York had a great pitcher named Amos Rusi, and they figured he threw too hard, they'd move it back. There's a ball outside. Well, all it did is made his curveball a little more effective, and he was even a better pitcher after they moved it back to 60 feet 6 inches. Ball one, the count on Rusty Staub. Man on first, one man down, 2-0 California. Ryan sets and pitches. There's a strike call, the fastball in. 1-1 they count on him. Staub steps out. As we told you, he was one of the leading Tiger hitters against California pitching last year. Minkowski not getting much of a lead at first base. Staub takes the ball outside. 2-1 they count on him. Now Rusty choking the bat, leaning and waiting. Here's the 2-1 serve. He swings, fly ball lifted to short left field near the line. Rudy coming over to his right is there. He makes the catch, and holding it first is Minkowski. All the outs have either been strikeouts or fly balls to Rudy in left field. Rudy's had 3 putouts, and then 5 Tigers have gone down on strike. Here's Steve Kemp, who took a called third strike to end the first inning. And Humphrey's gone out to the mound to talk with Nolan Ryan. Digging in. The conference is over now. The right-hander Ryan sets and pitches. The left-hander batter takes a strike outside corner. He didn't like that call by Barnett. Gave him a little bit of the old family look there. Ron Jackson holding on the bag with Minkowski at first base. Here's the pitch. It's a ball high. 1-1. We've told you from time to time that Kemp is a very aggressive hitter. Anybody to keep you from being aggressive, it would be the pitcher of the type of Nolan Ryan. Here's the set and the pitch. He backed him off with an inside fastball. 2-1 the count on Steve. Jason Thompson waiting on deck. We're in the 3rd inning. The Tigers and the California Angels. The Angels have the lead 2-0 at Tiger Stadium. Man on first, 2 down for Detroit. A 2-1 pitch to Kemp. He swings and fouls it away. He got a good ripple of that one. That was a let-up curve. But he beat the ball down on his foot. 2-2 the count on Steve. I don't think I ever saw a more impressive pitching performance than when Ryan pitched his second no-hitter in that 73 season against the Tigers. He struck out 17. Probably would have fanned more, but he had a big rest in the 8th inning when California got a lot of runs. Here's the 2-2 pitch now to Kemp. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He tried to hold up, but he'd gone across. That is 6 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan. No runs, no hits, a walk, no errors, 1 man left. At the end of 3, California 2, Detroit 0.
You're at the plate in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. Who drew the most votes in the first selection of players for the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York? Call timeout to think about it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's Blue. The answer, Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb gained 222 votes, 7 more than the great Babe Ruth or Honus Wagner. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt's Blue. Call for Labatt's. brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
Labatt's Blue is available in selected markets throughout Michigan.
Getting it together in the mornings, to use the vernacular. That's what we do in mornings here on WJR. I'm doing my job. I'm J.P. McCarthy. Join me from 6 to 10.
California got 2 in the second off John Hiller. They lead Hiller and the Tigers now 2-0. We move to the 4th inning. Let's all enjoy hearing from Paul Caray.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. It's Joe Rudy to lead it off for the Angels here in the top of the 4th inning against Hiller. It was Rudy who started things going for the Angels in the 2nd inning with his loop single to right field. Hiller looking in, getting the side from Milt May. Into the windup, the left-hander delivers. A curve stays high for ball 1. Rudy backing out. 8 home runs, 38 RBIs this year for Joe. As you know, most of them behind Frank Tanana. There's a foul into the upper deck behind the plate. A ball and a strike on Rudy. One of the 3 long-term contract-rich new players possessed by the California club out of that re-entry free agency draft. The pitch to him, strike called. Joe had an idea and then decided to not go after it. Hiller with his 2nd start of this season, his 2nd straight start. Did not survive the 4th inning at Texas, his first outing last Wednesday. Here's the pitch to Rudy. It's high with a fastball. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Angels getting 2 runs in the 2nd inning. A couple of loop singles by Rudy and Bonds, and then the 1-out single hit very sharply beyond the reach of a riser into left center field by Ron Jackson. Sacrifice fly by Gritch followed. There's a swing and a miss. Rudy goes down swinging, and that's the first strikeout for Hiller. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Here's the weather for Greater Detroit. Cloudy, widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers through Thursday. Low tonight, mid-60s. High tomorrow and Thursday, upper 80s. At 9:01, it's partly cloudy and 80. This is WJR Detroit.
A cut and a miss by Bobby Bonds on the first offering from Hiller. Now Bonds had looped a single to right field his first time up. Well, Hiller, with his first strikeout, getting Rudy to open the 4th inning. A little bit low that time, near the outside part of the plate, and it took patience on Bonds' part not to go after it. 1-1 on Bobby. Hiller winds, delivers. Swung on and missed. He was over the top of that off-speed pitch. Ryan is spanning them at the rate of 2 per inning with a total of 6. Nobody on, 1 down. Top of the 4th inning. A 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts by Hiller. And Bonds going down swinging. John has pitched well here tonight. He got hurt by those 2 little soft fly balls that dropped in the 2nd inning by Rudy and Bonds. The only well-hit ball, a 1 hopper into left center by Ron Jackson. So they're 2 down. Nobody on, and Don Baylor's at the plate. The pitch to Don. He checks. It's low and inside. The Oakland A's last year, previous to that with Baltimore, on the inside corner for a called strike. Hiller has the sign. The 1-1 pitch taken inside. Ball 2, strike 1 on Baylor. Power and speed owned by this man. The one who just struck out, Bobby Bonds, a good example of that. On the inside corner for a called strike. That's a pretty pitch. In around the knees. Now the windup by Hiller, the 2-2 pitch. Line shot foul. That'll reach the facing of the upper deck and get into the first couple of rows in the upper deck in right field. Hope they were ready for that one out there. 2-0. The Angels lead the Tigers here in the top of the fourth inning. 2 down, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch. There's a pop-up toward third. Mankowski calling for it, straddling the line. Now Verizor calls him off. He makes the catch in foul territory. A step, and the Angels are retired in order here in the top of the fourth inning. Tigers come to bat in their half with a score: California 2, Detroit 0.
Have been thinking that a car with the comfort and roominess of Volare might be priced beyond reach. That's why we'd like you to know that our 6-cylinder Volare 2-door coupe carries a manufacturer-suggested retail price of only $3,570, excluding all taxes and destination charges. $3,570 for Volare styling, Volare roominess, and that smooth, steady Volare ride. The kind of ride you'd expect from a big car. Volare, the small car with the accent on comfort, has a comforting price tag, too. Just $3,570. Come ride Volare today. Ride small, the comfortable way. Volare.
See your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Take the opportunity right here before the Tigers bat on the bottom of the fourth inning to pass along my sincere happy anniversary wishes to my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Pete and Mary Westlock in Saginaw, Michigan, on the occasion of their 56th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary, Pete and Mary. Here's Jason Thompson to lead it off for the Tigers in the bottom of the fourth inning. Nolan Ryan has struck out 6 Tigers, but he's had a little problem getting his rhythm. At times, had problems with a breaking ball, others with a fastball, getting it over, and he's walked 3 and uncorked 1 wild pitch. Tigers have had base runners, but haven't been able to move them around and on in. And Thompson walked his first time up. There's a wild one almost, high and wide to Jason. Ryan shrugging his shoulders. Nolan has slowed his delivery. He feels it's helped him a bit. Now they wind up the pitch. Breaking ball gets in. A ball and a strike on Jason. Now the windup. And the pitch. It's ball outside. 2-1 now on Thompson. Thompson had a big day Sunday against the White Sox with those 5 RBIs. The pitch to him. Swung on, ripped up the middle of the center field. A base hit for Thompson. Met the fastball and just sent it out over second base. Hit number 2 for the Tigers. They trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That brings up Tim Corcoran. Well, Tim is playing his first game ever in Tiger Stadium. Joined the Tigers on the trip at Texas. Called up after a sensational start for the Evansville Triplets, where he played first base almost exclusively. He's been used as the DH in 1 game and then in right field for the Tigers. Slightly open stance, feet spread wide apart. The pitch to him, it's a fastball outside for ball 1. Tim got off to a slow start in Texas, picked up a hit in his first game in Chicago, and that was in a long one, a home run for him. Then he wound up with 3 for 4 and 3 for 4. The pitch to Tim. Strike. Got that one across the letters near the outside of the plate. Thompson at first with a leadoff single here in the Tiger fourth inning. 2-0 Angels. Tim fly to left his first time up against Ryan. Leans back. The pitch is swung on. A little looper toward center field. It'll drop in for a base hit. Thompson holds at second base as Flores, with excellent speed, comes in to pick that ball up very quickly. Ball died in the outfield, but Thompson didn't have a chance to go to third. Runners at first and second with nobody out, and the batter will be Milt May. May walked his first time up. So he got a conference at the mound. Ryan, along with Terry Humphrey, the catcher, and Chalk, the third baseman, in to talk. Tigers with back-to-back singles here in the fourth inning. The Angels had the same thing in the second and cashed in a couple of runs. Checking the baseball, Larry Barnett keeping it in play. May hitting .310. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs for Milt. With Fuentes batting left-handed, there's a string of 7 straight Tiger batters left-handed against Ryan. There's a wild one, gets off the glove of Humphrey, and the runners will move up. That was a high fastball, and Terry didn't quite get out of the crouch quickly enough to grab. It's being ruled a wild pitch, the second by Ryan. He uncorked one in the first inning, allowing Mankowski to get to third base, but that's where he died when Kemp struck out. Now there are nobody out. And Thompson is at third. Corcoran at second. Ryan in his first real trouble of the ball game. Oh, he had some trouble in the second inning, too, and Tigers got 2 on by way of walks. 1 ball, no strike count. The pitch to May. Swung on, line down the right field line. It is a foul ball by a foot and a half. That had extra bases written all over it. Well, that time, Milt got out in front of a delivery by Nolan Ryan. A little too far. Normally, you don't get around on Ryan that much. Boy, that was going to tie the game right there. Now the outfield has moved. They're beginning to move. Flores had been playing straight away on May, who is known as an up-the-middle hitter. And they're moving to the right on him now. They've opened up the gap in left center field. Actually in center field for Milt. A 1-1 count on him. The set, the pitch to May. He swings and misses. An off-speed breaking pitch that time. May now behind with a 1-2 count on him. Ryan, even with men not on base, has become a more deliberate pitcher this year. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is high, 2-2. Tigers seeing 2 of baseball's best opposing them on the mound in this series. Ryan tonight, Tanana tomorrow. Tigers will counter with Dave Roberts tomorrow. Here's the 2-2 pitch to May. Bends him back, ball 3. Fastball around the nose. Mickey Stanley on deck. This is the last in the string of left-hand hitters that Ryan has to face in the Tiger batting order. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. A 3-2 count on Milt. The pitch from Ryan. Swung on and hit off the end of the bat toward third. Chalk charges. Looks at home. Can't go there. Goes to first to get May. And the Tigers get a run home. Staying at second was Corcoran. The play right in front of him. Chalk took a look at the plate. Saw he didn't have a shot at Thompson, who was going to score. And took a look over his left shoulder at Corcoran to make sure he wasn't trying to advance to third. Gritch was covering for him there. And he went to first to just nip May by a step. So Milt gets an RBI. The Tigers narrow the gap to 2-1 and get on the board against Nolan Ryan. Corcoran still at second now. With 1 out, and the batter is Mickey Stanley. Stanley struck out, swinging his first time up. Grounder by May was just hit off the end of the bat. Here's the pitch. A little high to Mickey, ball 1. May looking for something with a little more speed that time, and he just barely caught the end of the bat with it. Dribbled it in the high infield grass. It's a brand new infield here at Tiger Stadium that the Tigers are coming back to. The set, the pitch. piled upstairs. It'll be behind first base in the upper deck. On the batting cage before the game, some of the Angels were commenting about the length of the grass in the infield, and I explained to them that it's a brand new infield. The other had been taken out completely when the Tigers went off on their 10-day road trip. But it is going to slow some balls down in the infield here. Outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike on Stanley. Corcoran at second. Thompson led off the inning with a single. Advanced to second on the single by Corcoran. Both moved up on a wild pitch. Mays bounced out to third, brought in a run. The set by Ryan. The pitch outside with a fastball. 3-1. On deck is Verizon. Ryan struggling a bit tonight with that strike zone. Got those good pitches that will keep the batters off balance. But he's also been a wee bit inconsistent. And patience is the order at the plate. There's ball 4. Stanley draws a walk. Mickey moves to first. Corcoran is at second with 1 out. And the batter will be Verizon. That's the 4th walk issued by Ryan. Tommy hit a soft fly to left his first time up. Stanley gets a good-sized lead at first. Jackson playing behind the runner there. 1 in the dirt. Good block by Humphrey. That one just simply was badly released by Ryan. It hit out in front of the plate, to the side of the plate. Humphrey made sure he blocked it. Now the pitch from Ryan. Reiser takes outside ball 2. Time called. Humphrey is going to go out to have another word with his pitcher Nolan, who is having trouble. That plate is swimming around on him. And here comes Norm Sherry, the manager of the Angels, out to talk to Nolan as well. Well, Ernie passed along a card. Cosmo Potts, out of Warren High School. He's got 58 members of the Big Orange Warren High School Varsity Club on hand tonight. The card comes from George Steele, good friend who's the basketball coach out at Warren High. And he and old Cos Potts are on hand with a large group of Warren High. Conference is over now. Norm Sherry's gone back to the dugout. Humphrey wending his way behind the plate. Tigers have runners at first and second with 1 out. They've scored a run. A couple of singles, a bounce out and a walk so far in this inning. And activity now in the Angel bullpen, Scott and Drago. The pitch is taken for a strike. That one was right across the letters. It looked like Tommy was going to take all the way. Scott's a left-hander, Drago a right-hander. Loosening in the bullpen for California. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up. Foul. It'll drift back out of play. This one will reach the upper deck behind first base. Ron Jackson coming over to watch it disappear. Verizon waiting on Nolan Ryan. A 2-2 count on him. 1 down. 2 runners on. The infield in double play depth. Ryan ready. The pitch to Tommy. He swings and pops a foul into the upper deck. Behind the plate this time. So the war between the mound and the plate continues. Looking forward to that big night coming up Friday night, the 1977 debut of the Bird, Mark Fidrich, against the new Seattle Mariners. Now the 2-2 pitch to Verizon. Almost hit him inside with a floater. count again. He has gone to that 3-2 count so much tonight. On deck is Mankowski. 1 out, runners at first and second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Check swing, ball 4, the bases are loaded. A fastball up around the shoulders. It took off on Ryan. That's the 5th strikeout for Ryan. Tigers trail 2-1. They've had the base runners. The Tigers have left 4 on base in the first 3 innings. Got a single from Mankowski in the first inning and a couple of walks in the second inning. Both runners stayed there. A walk in the third. Ryan has been able to befuddle the batters just enough, picking up 6 strikeouts here in the 4th. Singles by Thompson and Corcoran, and the bounce out by May get a run home. Then the 2 walks to Stanley and Verizon load up the bases for Mankowski. A single and a walk for Phil tonight. Here's the windup by Ryan and the pitch. Strike call. A good pitch by Ryan. I think Phil would like to see that one again. Bases loaded with Tigers. They trail 2-1. The pitch to Mankowski bends him away. 1-1. Ryan doing a little scraping around, taking plenty of time. Now leaning on the knees into the motion. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Wide, 2-1. Time called. Third baseman Chalk in to talk now with Ryan. And Drago and Scott continue to loosen in the bullpen. Now, Ryan had a one-hitter earlier this year. Against Seattle, Bob Stinson got the only hit off him, a 5th inning single, as I recall. His windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Way high and wide, almost over the head of Humphrey, but he reached up to haul it in. 3-1 now on Mankowski. I would wager, and I'm not a betting man, but that Mankowski will be taking here with a 3-1 count on him, as wild as Ryan has been. The bases loaded with Tigers. On deck is Fuentes. Here's the windup, the 3-1 pitch. There's a called strike, and Phil was taken. Like to have that one to swing at, but by the same token, you've got to play the percentages. Chance to get a run in if he's just a little off. And he has been more than a little off here tonight. Here's the full count pitch to Mankowski. He swings and pops the fly ball foul down the left field line. It's slicing, and no one will get it. It'll drop in the bullpen. Rudy and Gritch both giving chase down there. Neither could catch up to it. So we come back again to load those bases up. Mankowski may have broken his bat on that one. He's whacking the handle in the dirt. Yep, Phil's going to need a new bat. An exciting moment here at Tiger Stadium. Tigers trailing at 2-1. 1 out with the bases loaded. Ready to go again. Ryan winds. Here's the pitch. Swung on. A ground ball. They may get 2. To Gritch for 1. They relay double play, and that's all for the Tigers in the 4th inning. A one-hopper ready-made to Jerry Remy, and they turned the double play 4-6-3. For the Tigers in the 4th inning, 1 run on 2 hits. They had a couple of walks, no errors, and 2 runners were left on base. So after 4 innings of play, it's now the Angels 2, the Tigers 1.
Here's a WJR News Update. Veteran Detroit talk show host and columnist Lou Gordon is dead at the age of 60. Gordon was found dead in his bed this morning by his wife. Cause of death appears to have been heart-related. The struggling American Motors Corporation is a new president. Gerald Myers, who had been an executive vice president, succeeds the retiring William Lundberg. President Carter discussed the Middle East with Prince Fahd of Saudi Arabia at the White House today. In Russia, Soviet President Podgorny has been effectively stripped of all but ceremonial power. The Communist Party Central Committee dropped the 74-year-old Podgorny from the ruling Politburo. A 3-judge federal appeals court in New York City has extended until June 1st a ban against landings by the Concorde jetliner at Kennedy Airport. The court scheduled on that date a hearing on the merits of the issue. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials were down 4.66 today, closing at 912.40. The Detroit temperature, 78 degrees. I'm Gene Fogel.
Just so you'll know, WJR presents Town and Country the first thing every morning at 5. This is Jim Garrett inviting you to join Tom Campbell and me on Radio 76.
It's the top of the 5th inning here at Tiger Stadium. John Hiller set to face the Angels. They score 2-1 Angels. Ron Jackson, who drove in an Angel run in the 2nd inning to lead it off. A windup by Hiller. Here's the pitch to Jackson. He takes a strike. A changeup by Hiller right off the bat. The right-hand batter, the pitch to him, swung on and fouled upstairs behind the plate. 2 quick strikes on Ron Jackson. He was the number 2 pick in the free agent draft back in 1971 by the Angels. Worked his way up through their system. Played outfield and third base primarily, but is now playing some first base for the Angels as he is tonight. The pitch to him. Swung on, lined at Verizon. A stab by Tommy. A good catch. He had to time it just right. That ball was taking off like a golf shot. And it was beginning to hook, too, so Tommy had to make quite a play on it. 1 down in the 5th inning. Here's Bobby Grich, whose sacrifice fly to center drove in the run that is the difference in the game right now. And the pitch to Bobby. He takes low and inside, ball 1. Grich very happy to be a member of the California Ball Club. Got in a miss. The Angels extended him, but he wanted to play in Southern California. High for a ball, 2-1 on Grich. Hiller winds, the 2-1 pitch. It's low, 3-1. On deck for California is Terry Humphrey. Grich won his 4th straight Gold Glove at second base last year, now making the conversion to shortstop this year. 3-1 pitch to him. Swung on, a fly ball lifted to center field. Stanley starts back. He's under it now. Mickey pounds the glove. He has it. 2 down in the 5th inning. Nobody on, and then the batter will be Terry Humphrey. Well, the last 10 batters have been outs. Well, Hiller settled down after giving up those 2 loop singles by Rudy and Bonds and the 1 solid hit by Jackson. That's all they've been able to touch Hiller for. But they have a 2-1 lead. The man from Chickasaw, Oklahoma, Terry Humphrey, waits and takes a called strike. Pitch to Terry. Check swing. It's low for a ball. A couple of seasons ago, you recall that Humphrey was seeing some action for the Tigers and had his season destroyed by George Brett in the collision at home plate. It's low for a ball. The earlier announcement by Ernie, Vern Rule, a Tiger right-hander, has been placed on the 21-day disabled list because of that bothersome stiffness in his right shoulder. The date of the disability retroactive to May 20th. That was the day after he started the exhibition game in Cincinnati. That was last Thursday at Cincinnati. And Mark Fidrich thus was made room for, and Mark is now an active member of the Tigers. He's been with them and very active, but not officially so. But he is now back on the 25-man roster and ready to go in his debut of the year. It's coming Friday against the Seattle Mariners. Here's Tito Puentes to lead off the fifth inning for Detroit. Tito has been a little befuddled by Ryan so far, batting left-handed against Ryan. He has struck out both times. His old teammate at San Francisco, Bobby Bonds, was chiding him before the ball game about it. High and wide for a ball. He said, how do you expect it? Pull the ball. He said he couldn't do it against Dick Brzezinski, who was throwing batting practice. I expect to do it against Nolan Ryan. The pitch from Ryan. Punted toward third, but charged by Chalk. He's got it to throw to first, and he got him. Well, that was punted right at Chalk, who was suspecting a bunt. Charged in, and despite the high grass, was able to make an easy play out of it. Tito has good bat control and has been able to get several bunt singles between the third baseman and the mound. One out in the Tiger fifth. That'll bring up Rusty Staub. Rusty has struck out and hit a pop fly to left against Ryan. The windup by Nolan. He kicks and fires. Inside, around the knees. Ball one on Staub. Now Ryan rocks on the mound. The pitch swung on a bouncer to first. Jackson waits for it, scoops it up, and trots to the bag to make the put out unassisted on Stop. There are two down. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Checking the weather for Greater Detroit. Fair to partly cloudy with widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers through Thursday. Low tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow and Thursday's high in the upper 80s. At 9:30, it's partly cloudy and 75. This is WJR Detroit.
Here's Steve Kemp. Well, Steve has been a strikeout victim both times against Ryan. Steve saw a lot of Ryan when he was a youngster out in Southern California. Now he's batting against him. High and wide for ball one. It's the first time he will have hit against Nolan Ryan. This ball game, that is. So far, he's been unsuccessful. Wiggling the bat, the pitch to him. Low and inside, 2-0 on Kemp. Steve has really been swinging the bat well, upping his batting average to an even 300 coming into the ball game. The 2-0 pitch to him. He checks on a breaking ball inside. It's 3-0. He's not given Steve much to really take a cut at. And a lot of breaking balls and off-speed material. The pitch to him. It's low for ball four. So Kemp draws a walk, and that's the sixth base on balls issued by Ryan. He's also struck out 6. And it'll bring up Jason Thompson with a walk and a single. Each club with 3 hits, but the Angels lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They made a little better use of their scoring opportunities in this game. The only opportunities they had came in the 2nd inning and made the most of them. A stretch by Ryan. Here's the pitch to Jason. Fastball is high. Ball 1. Seattle now leads Cleveland 5-2 in the 6th inning across the lake at Cleveland. Boston ahead of the Yankees 4-2 in the 6th inning in New York. The pitch to Thompson. There's a strike. A big bender that caught the outside corner. Thompson didn't agree. Game moving along at Baltimore tonight. 1-0 Baltimore over Milwaukee in the 8th inning. Jim Palmer working for the Birds. Strike 2 called. He worked him outside. That one was inside, around the knees. Caught the inside corner. Moving it around on Jason. Ryan ahead of Thompson with a 1-2 count. Kemp at first, 2 down in the Tiger 5th inning. The pitch to Thompson. Swung on. A little pop-up in behind short. Gritch is calling for it on the edge of the grass. Makes the catch. That retires the side. No runs, no hits, a walk, no errors, 1 left. After 5 innings of play, California 2, Detroit 1. Herbie delighting the audience after 5 innings here at Tiger Stadium. Ready to go in the 6th inning. Top of the batting order. The first pitch from John Hiller to Gil Flores. Taken for a called strike. One troublesome inning for Hiller. There's a tap foul rolling behind the plate. 2 quick strikes on Flores. In the second inning, Luke singles by Rudy and Bonds lead it off. Baylor is out on a pop-up. And then Ron Jackson ripped a one-hop drive in the left center field to score a run. A sacrifice fly by Grich. Got another one home, and that's been it. A pitch from Hiller. Swung on a fly ball to center field. Stanley starts back, now trots in, and makes the catch. 1 out in the Angels' 6th inning. That'll bring up Jerry Remy. Hiller has set down the Angels in order in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. Oh, except for that second, he's been letter perfect. Hiller winds, pitches to Remy. He shortens up, takes the strike. Didn't offer on it. Got excellent speed, Remy does. Caused Mankowski to play in real tight, charge the ball. He's on the edge of the grass right now, actually sneaking in on the grass. Strike 2 called on Remy. 0 for 2 for Remy tonight. Left-hand batter, feet close together. The pitch from John. Swung on, hit on the ground to the left side. Cut off by Mankowski. Guns to first, he got him. That high grass of the infield slowed that one down just enough for Mankowski to get over and be able to cut it off in front of Verizon. Almost needed to make the play that way because the speed of Remy. Well, there are 2 down. Nobody on, and Dave Chalk at the plate, a right-hand batter. He's popped to second and popped to short. Hiller ready. Delivers. A little high that time. Ball 1. John's control has been excellent. He delivers. Strike called. Mixing his speeds well. Around that plate all the time. The 1-1 pitch to Chalk. He takes strike 2 called. Here's the windup by Hiller. The 1-2 pitch. Bounced foul over toward the box seats near the Tiger dugout. Straight batters have gone down against Hiller. Beginning of the string was the sacrifice fly by Grich. Cut and a miss. He struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Hiller, and again for the 4th straight inning, he sets the Angels down 1-2-3. Here come the Tigers to bat to give it a try in the bottom of the 6th inning with a score. California 2, Detroit 1. Nolan Ryan loosening up to face the Tigers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. John Hiller has pitched a superb ball game for the Tigers, with the exception of that one tough luck inning in the second where the Angels got their 2 runs and they lead it 2-1. Ryan has been alternately wild and accurate. He's kept the Tiger hitters off balance for the most part. The Tigers have left men on base in every inning. 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. Here's Tim Corcoran, who singled in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2 tonight against Ryan. First pitch of the inning to Corcoran is a fastball high. Ball 1 on Tim. 1 more with the Angels, and then Seattle will come in for 3 this weekend, followed by Oakland and Cleveland, a 9-game homestand. Strike. That one called on Tim. It came in above the knees with a fastball. Not much wind here at the ballpark tonight. Pitch to Tim is taken a little low. 2-1. Ryan thought it was in. Had some rain this afternoon in the ballpark area. A little brief shower. Unloaded and moved on. 2-1 pitch to Tim. He swings and fouls it against the screen behind the plate. Corcoran will be followed by May and Stanley here in the Tigers' 6th inning. The Angels came into the game tied for 4th in the Western Division with Oakland and Kansas City, 6.5 games behind the leader, Minnesota. The 2-2 pitch to Corcoran. Inside, it bounced off the plate and up against the chest protector of Humphrey and bounced away. One of those full counts again. Irish-American night tomorrow night. There will be some special ceremonies prior to the game. We'll have D. Millay night on Friday night when the Bird makes his debut. The 3-2 pitch to Corcoran. Swung on and fouled to the screen. He spoiled one off. Oh, Ryan doesn't like the ball he got. Only get a new one. Corcoran 1 for 2 tonight. Tigers will throw another left-hander against the Angels tomorrow night in Dave Roberts. And the Tigers will see one of the best left-handers in the business, Frank Tanana, on the mound against them. He's won 7 times, lost but once. The pinch to Corcoran. Swung on and fouled off the face mask to plate umpire Larry Barnett. That sent him staggering about 3 steps backward. Ooh, it jammed the mask up against his chin. Ryan's fastballs, and Corcoran just barely kicked it. Enough to send it over the shoulder of Humphrey. Barnett not quite ready to be the arbiter yet. He wants to look around, see how things look before he puts that grill work back on his face. Check on the mask, make sure it's all in one piece. Three balls, 2 strikes on Corcoran. Nobody out here in the 6th inning. Nobody on. Here's the pitch to Tim. Ball 4. He walked him. There's the 7th walk given up by Ryan. Well, the Tigers have had the runners. Or they at least walkers, maybe we should say. 7 of them. Ryan's had a couple of wild pitches. Here's Milt May. Third baseman Dave Chalk is looking for the sacrifice. The pitch to the plate, taken for a called strike, and Milt gave no indication that he was going to bunt. Milt often takes that first pitch. Wants to look at what's being thrown. Now they pitch to him. Strike 2 called. And again, he didn't shorten up. Oh, the poke on May, according to the opponents, say that Milt will not bunt very often. The stretch. Here's the set and the 2-strike pitch. Swung on a bouncer to the right side. Up with it is Remy to second for 1. The relay to first gets away from Jackson. Not far enough for May to advance. It was a poor throw by Gridge. Hit in the dirt, so it'll go as a simple force out at second base. It's Corcoran. So there's 1 out with May at first base, and Mickey Stanley will be the batter. Baltimore 2-1 over Milwaukee now in the 9th inning. The Brewers with their last chance at Jim Palmer. They're in the 7th at Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox leading the Yankees 5-2. Seattle ahead of Cleveland 5-2 in the 6th, but that's been out for some time. Here's the set by Ryan. The pitch to Stanley. He cuts and misses. Strike 1. Only 3 other games going in the American League tonight. Montreal involved in another long game today. The Expos winning it in extra innings in 13 innings over the Cubs 5-4. The pitch to Stanley. Swing and a miss. He couldn't find that one. At Pittsburgh, the Pirates lead the Mets 5-1 in the 7th inning. Philadelphia won the Cards nothing in the 5th inning at St. Louis. A couple of late starters on the West Coast in the National League this evening. Here's the stretch. The 2-strike pitch to Stanley. It's outside and low, and Mickey held off. Tigers just 4.5 games off the pace in the American League East behind Baltimore. Coming into the series with the Angels. To set the pitch to Stanley. He checked in time. Fastball just outside. 2-2 on Stanley. Stretch by Ryan. Here's the pitch to Mickey. Swings and lifts a foul into the upper deck on the right field side. Ernie got a letter today from Laura Kirkhow of Saline, Michigan. She and the whole Kirkhow family want to know who played third base and shortstop during the '68 World Series for the Tigers. Said to answer on the air. It was Don Word at third base, right? And Ray Euler and, well, Mickey Stanley played short during the series. That's right. During the season, Dick Krasuski and Ray Euler played it. Here's the pitch from Ryan. Check swing by Stanley. Did he check in time? They're going to appeal, and he did check in time. Jim Evans, the first base umpire, supporting Larry Barnett's call behind the plate. Ooh, that was close. Stanley almost breaking the wrists on it. It's a 3-2 count on Mickey. Ryan had him swinging, missing on the first 2 pitches, and it's another full count. May at first base, 1 down. The pitch from Ryan. Swung on, ground ball towards second. Picked up by Remy. He'll tag the runner May, throw to first, double play. Throw back to second, safe at second. Apparently they'd missed the tag of May. May slid, went down on the ground, did not go out of the base path. Remy could not make the tag and went on to first. To get that one, they had to go back. The force was off. They had to go back and make a tag at May at second and missed him as he dove in safely. What happens is that it becomes simply a 4-3 put out of Stanley at first base. Moving May to second. May did a good job. He was right on the base path. The ball fielded right there by Remy. And May came to a skidding halt, kind of went down low. The throw to first got Stanley in good shape. Here's Tom Verizor, the Tigers, with a runner at second in May. Trailing at 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nolan Ryan looks back at second. The pitch to Tommy. Takes outside, ball 1. Verizor is fly to left and walked. Tigers have only 3 hits, so have the Angels. They've all been singles. The pitch, strike, fastball on the outside part of the plate. Into the stretch. The pitch to Verizor. He swings and fouls one into the upper deck behind first. Oh, it's a 1-2 count. The ball popping down toward the Tiger coaching box at first base. And 2 strikes on Verizor with May at second and 2 away in the Tiger 6th. The pitch to Tommy is a curve on the outside corner. He struck him out. The first strikeout for Ryan since the 3rd inning. But it ends the 6th for Detroit. No runs, no hits, a walk, no errors, and 1 left. After 6 innings, it's still the Angels 2 and the Tigers 1. We've got a tight one going here at Tiger Stadium. It's been interesting. It's primarily been pitching. The strikeouts and the walks of Nolan Ryan and the excellent pitching of John Hiller, who got a little tough luck in the 2nd inning when the Angels got both their runs on 3 hits, 2 of them rather tainted, and a sacrifice fly. It's the 7th inning for California. Joe Rudy will lead it off, and back for the play-by-play, here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. This has been a good one. The Angels lead it 2-1. Here's Rudy, who started the scoring in the second. And he swings and misses on the low outside fastball from the left-handed hitter. Only in that second inning have the Angels done anything. They got their 3 hits in that inning, and they scored their 2 runs. Everybody else has gone out in order in all the other innings. They put their 3 hits together. There's a high pop foul off of first base. Here comes May. Here comes Thompson near the seats. And it is just out of reach. 2 rows in. Right at the corner of the Angel dugout. $14,194 is the paid attendance just announced by Mr. Bill Brown on our intercom. Rudy waiting on a strike 2 pitch, swings and fouls one out of play. Well, sometimes the pitcher the next day is charting pitches. I noticed Mr. Tanana is over there talking to a young lovely right in the corner of the dugout. He's not charting any pitches right now. Here's a strike called. He struck him out. Rudy called out on strike. That's the 4th strikeout for Hiller. Bobby Bonds stepping in. He had one of the 3 hits in the second inning, a single. He also struck out in the 4th. It's a close one, 2-1 California. The Tigers scored their only run in the 4th. Singles by Thompson and Corcoran. A wild pitch moved them up. And then a bounce out by May got the run in. There's a foul off the bat of Bobby Bonds. Back to the screen, strike 1. Well, we see Dave Roberts and Frank Tanana here tomorrow night in the finale of the series. It's a curve low from Hiller, 1-1. John has pitched a very fine game. But the Angels have the lead, 2-1. Swing and a miss by Bobby Bonds. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count out him. Milwaukee and Baltimore traded home runs in the 8th inning. Money hit one for Milwaukee for their first run, and then Singleton hit one for Baltimore. There's a little roll of foul over toward Dave Garcia, the third base coach. Latest we had on that game in Baltimore, the Orioles led 2-1 in the 9th inning with Milwaukee batting in the first half of the ninth. Boston leads the Yanks 5-2 there in the 7th. Cleveland has tied Seattle. That's 5-5 in the 6th. Here's a ball in close on Bonds. 2-2 the count on him. All 3 hits off Hiller have been singles. Here's a bounding ball to short. Big hop for Barraza. The throw to Thompson. Plenty of time, and there are 2 down. Don Baylor will be the next man to bat now for the California Angels. Right-hand batting designated batter with a foul out the first and a pop up to shortstop. He's hit the ball of the year twice. Hiller kicks and delivers. Here's a little looper foul up this way, out of play. Into the upper deck. And a gentleman from Toledo will take that one home with him. Baylor takes high for a ball, 1-1 the count on him. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Angels, 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers, 1 error charged to the Tigers. Didn't figure in the scoring. There's a strike called. He skipped the fastball in above the knees. 1-2 on Baylor. Digging in, standing deep, waiting on Hiller's next delivery. Here it comes. It's a change-up low on the count 2-2. Mankowski deepens at third, the infield all the way back. He takes the ball at the shoulder in close, full count. Like a breaking ball. Hiller didn't like that ball. He wants another one from the umpire, Barnett. First time we've seen this quartet this year. Barnett, Evans, Voltaccio, and Springstead. Here's the pitch. Change up, hit in the air, foul back a third. Mankowski racing, so is Pariza. Still going, and nobody can get it. It falls into the bullpen. Pariza had the best shot, but it was just out of his reach. Over where the ground crew sits. Long run for Tommy. He couldn't quite get there. Kemp had an even longer run. And it was tougher for Mankowski because he had to go straight back. At least Pariza had sort of an angle on the ball. And it fell among the three of them. 3-2 the count on Baylor. Wind up in the pitch. Swing and a foul out of play. That one came back and hit May. Pittsburgh leading the Mets 5-1 in the 7th. The Cardinals over the Phillies 5-1 in the 6th. Montreal beat Chicago in 13 innings at Wrigley Field today, 5-4. Other games are late starters. Here's a pitch. Baylor takes a walk. That's the first walk off Hiller. That one got away from him and hit in front of the plate. 16 in a row had been retired by John Hiller before that walk. They've not had a runner since Jackson is coming up now. Was singled in the first run in the second inning. Baylor's a good base runner. He's got a king-size lead over there right now. And it is a ball in too close on Ron Jackson. Up until this inning, the Angels had left only one man on base. Hiller sets, delivers. It's a ball outside the fastball. 2-0 the count on it. Almost no breeze now. It has died. Good night for baseball. Here's the set. Runner goes. Pitches a ball low for the second. He is out at second base. Now he's called safe as Fuentes didn't hold the ball. They had him, and then Fuentes didn't hold the ball. Voltaccio gave the out sign and then the safe sign. It'll be an error charged to Tito Fuentes. No stolen base. Jackson at the plate, 3-0 the count. There's a let-up pitch. It's high. It'll be 2 walks in a row now off Hiller. It'll be the second Tiger error. On that play, May will get an assist, and it goes in the record books as caught stealing. Doesn't make sense to me because he wasn't caught stealing. That's like giving a guy an out at the first base when the first baseman pops the ball. Give him a... Here's Bobby Grich up, and he takes a strike call. But that's the way the rules written.
Yeah, and I guess what they're doing is saying that May had him because the call was out. They don't want to have May charged with a successful stolen base.
Well, that's right. That's the logic of it, sure. There's a strike call. He got a curve over. Yeah, if you didn't have the problem of the catcher's record of stolen bases and caught stealing, it wouldn't be there. So that's a good explanation. 2 on, 2 out, and it's a strike called. He stood there and watched that one go by. Struck him out. It's the 5th strikeout for Hiller. No runs, no hits. 1 error, 2 left. We go to the last half of the 7th inning. The Tigers come in to bat. The Angels 2, Detroit 1.
Hi, I'm Ernie Harwell, and I'm here with a couple of competitors in the Chrysler Plymouth Dealers Honorary Tiger Bat Boy Contest. Paul, how does this thing work?
Well, any boy or girl between 8 and 14 can sign up at any participating Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Provided they're accompanied by a licensed driver 18 or older.
That's right. and there's no obligation for signing up.
Then 22 Bat Boys will be picked on June the 2nd. Right, Katie?
Right, 22 winners. One from each Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
And everyone who signs up gets a free Tiger iron-on patch.
Great. Well, that about does it. So, kids, grab your parents and stop into any participating Chrysler Plymouth dealer between April 18th and May 27th. And sign up for the Tiger Bat Boy contest. Thank you, Katie and Paul. And this is...
Oh, there's one more thing.
Yes, Katie?
Shouldn't that be that person?
Well, anyway, see your participating Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer soon.
Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
At 10:02, here's the weather for Greater Detroit. Fair to partly cloudy with widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers through Thursday. Low tonight, mid-60s, high tomorrow, and Thursday, upper 80s. Right now, it's partly cloudy and 75. This is WJR Detroit.
Mankowski will try to get going for the Tigers here in the 7th inning. They trail 2-1, each team with 2 hits. It's been a close one, a pitching duel between contrasting pitchers. Nolan Ryan and John Hiller. And each has done an excellent job. Ryan's been hobbled by control troubles, but he's overcome them. He's walked 7 and struck out 7. Here's Mankowski. And he looks at a strike. Still has a single. He's walked and hit into a double play. Key double play in the 4th inning. Baltimore hung on to beat Milwaukee 2-1. Palm of the winner and Augustine the loser. Here's a foul out of play. Got that pitch down in the hands and fouled it upstairs in section 16. Strike 2, the count on Mankowski. Don't forget, the same 2 teams go at each other tomorrow night. Dave Roberts against Frank Tanana, a battle of left-handers. Hope you'll be out here with us. Here's the pitch. It's a ball in too close. Off day Thursday, the Tigers resume action Friday, and do they resume it with the Bird making his 77 debut. Fidrich against Abbott. It'll be D-Mole night. And tomorrow is Irish-American night at the ballpark. Now, Ryan was ready, then he backed off the slab. 1-2 the count on Mankowski. What a job he's done filling in for the injured Rodriguez. Both with the bat and the glove. Ryan making him wait. It's the 1-2 pitch. In too close with a hard curve. 2-2 the count on Phil. Tiger 3 hits. Mankowski, Thompson, and Corcoran all singles. California 3 hits. Rudy and Bonds and Jackson all singles. Here's a fly ball hit back at shortstop. Little pop by Gritch going back. Rudy coming in behind him. It's Rudy, the left fielder, to make the catch. The Tigers have hit a lot of balls weakly up in the air, popping into short left field, not getting around on that fastball. And the left hand is hitting to the opposite field, popping to short of the short left. Here's Fuentes. He struck out twice and bounced to third on a bunt. Left-hand batting Tito Fuentes against the hard-throwing right-hander Ryan. There's a strike. Looked as if he wanted the bunt, but he didn't go for it. Chalk is charging in from third. Nolan Ryan, the young Texan, kicks and deals. It's a curve over but low, 1-1 on Tito. Scoreboard show will follow our broadcast. Paul Caray will be here with all the scores. Be sure to stay tuned. Ryan into motion. Pitches. It's a ball in close. He's trying that curve again around the ankles. 2-1 on Fuentes. Ryan has walked 7 and struck out 7. Miller has walked 2 and struck out 5. He didn't walk anybody until the 7th when he walked 2 in a row. There's a fly ball to center field. Backing up Flores. Still going. Reaches up and makes the catch on the run. Good running catch by Flores. He was playing shallow. Tito got good wood on it and hit it fairly deep. So there are 2 down, and that'll leave it up to Rusty Staub in the Tigers' 7th. Angels lead the Tigers 2-1. That's about the longest ball the Tigers have hit tonight. Rusty has struck out, hit a short fly to left, and bounced to first base unassisted. Checks his sign with his catcher, Humphrey. And Rusty takes a strike, fastball over. Here's another strike. That would hit the inside corner on a check swing. A couple of games under the 500 mark overall, but at night they are 5 over the 500 mark, 17 and 12. Now 2-strike count on Rusty Staub, 2 out, nobody on in the 7th. He takes a half cut and holds it. It's the ball. The curve dipped in around the ankle. California 2, Detroit 1. We're in the 7th inning at Tiger Stadium. Angels got 2 in the 2nd. Tigers got 1 in the 4th. All the 6 hits in the game have been singles. 3 per side. There's a ball in close. Another curve. 2-2 the count on Rusty. Rusty trying to get over those back ailments. Still not 100%. Now Ryan checks his sign again. The 2-2 pitch is on the way. He swings and strikes out. Curveball fooled him. That is the 8th strikeout for Nolan Ryan. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. At the end of 7, the Angels 2, Detroit 1.
Now, Doug McAnally goes to work as a roustabout in the Yates Oil Field in West Texas. He doesn't work alone. He gets together with other marathon men like Leon Gentry, Phil Lemons, and Ernie Galindo. And together they go about the business of getting crude oil out of the ground. Doug McAnally could work alone, but the job wouldn't get done as well, or at all, without the help of Leon, Phil, and Ernie. Because each of them can do something the other one can't. So they get together to do it better. A company's like its people, because it is people. When Marathon found oil, our oil people got together with some pipeline people, who got together with some refining people, who got together with some service station people, so we could do it better. We got together to do it better. We're Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
Hi, this is Frank Beckman. Glad you joined the club on Radio 76. Just a reminder that whether it happened on or off the field, we'll have it for you on the Sports Final, evenings at 11:15 on WJR.
The Angels to bat now in the 8th inning. They're leading the Tigers 2-1. It'll be Humphrey, the former Tiger, batting number 9 in the California order now. He's 0 for 2 tonight against his old battery mate, John Hiller. Bounced to short and bounced to third in his 2 trips. Angels are 3-7 this year against left-handers. Here's a bunt attempt by Humphrey. It's back of the plate foul. However, they've won 3 out of the last 4 against left-hand pitching. In theory, you'd think that a catcher could hit an old battery mate about as easy as anybody because he's caught him and very familiar with his repertoire, what he might throw up there and how he does it. Here's a bounding ball to third. Mankowski gobbles it up. The throw to Thompson gets him, and there's one away. Is working in the bullpen now, and so is Drago. Going on the same theory we mentioned, you might think, well, the catcher could hit better than anybody because he sees the ball come up there the same way all the time. Same way as a batter would. But it doesn't seem to work that way. Here's Flores, the leadoff man, and he backed off from a changeup, ball one. Flores has bounced the first, popped to short, and hit a fly ball to Stanley in center. 2-1, the Angels lead. We're in the 8th inning. There's a check swing. Let's see if it's a strike or ball. Yep, the first base umpire, Evans, says he went through on that one. 1-1 to count. Here's a foul fly out of play. It'd be interesting to know how many times out of 10, for instance, that an umpire at first or third rules a strike or a ball. I'd say most of the time he doesn't say he goes across. Here's the 1-2 pitch now coming up to Flores. It is in the dirt, bouncing away from May. 2-2 the count on Gill. Well, the Yankees bumped in with 4 in the 7th inning. They now lead 6-5 over Boston at the end of 7. Here's a ball low. Pitch. Swung on, base hit left field. A soft line drive over shortstop, and that will be the 4th hit for the Angels. And the first one off Hiller since he allowed 3 in the 2nd inning. Jerry Remy, left-handed batting infielder, steps up now. Seattle and Cleveland in the 8th inning, they are deadlocked at 5-5 over there. Easy toss by Hiller over to first base, the runner back in time. Steve Gurley starting to heat up in the Tiger bullpen. In close to the curve, backed him away. Mankowski playing inside the bag at third, almost to the inner grass. Well, he's really to it, but they've got it cut out over there at third base on this diamond. Ground crew's done a good job on the newly made infield. There's a little pop foul off a third. Mankowski backing up. He's there. He has it. And the runner goes back to first base safely. Flores, he was way down the line. I don't think Mankowski realized that. And I really don't know what Flores is running for anyway. The ball was fouled and he didn't tag up. He was...
I don't know what he was doing down so close to second base.
Anyway, he got back and there's 2 out. And the batter will be Dave Chalk. Chalk 0 for 3 against the left-handed Hiller. He's popped to second, popped to short, and the last time up struck out. There's a ball low. Good stop by May. That ball hit in front of the plate. Pittsburgh leading the Mets there in the 9th inning at Pittsburgh, 5-2. The Mets have fallen on tough times. There's a ball high, 2-0 the count. Cardinals out of the Phillies 6-3 in the 7th. Houston and L.A., no report on that one. Atlanta and San Diego, no report on that one. And the pitch. He takes ball high, throw to first. They've got him in a rundown. Flores. Thompson throws into Fuentes who makes the tag, and he's out. The catcher to the first baseman and the second baseman retiring the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. And at the end of 7.5 innings, California 2, Detroit 1.
Okay, let's put a few nickels in the machine here and see what comes out.
Ted Strasser weaves patterns in music, Sundays on Radio 76.
You remember Bobby Socks, Lindy Hops, and warm summer nights? Remember joining the gang at your favorite hangout? Remember 78s and more big bands than you could count? And remember Pearl Harbor and Omaha Beach, V-Mail and VJ Day? And from all indications we got, there's a lot of tape being used this morning on tape machines as folks try to capture some of these things that are pretty hard to come by anymore.
Patterns in Music, Sunday morning, 8:10 to noon on WJR.
Tigers need instant runs. They trail 2-1. Ryan has not been as sharp as he often is, but he's been tough. He's had his strikeout pitch working. He's fanned 8. He's walked 7. He's allowed 3 singles, and the Tigers touched him for a run in the 4th inning. Now they'll send up Kemp, Thompson, and Cochran, the 3 left-hand swinging Californians, in the middle part of the batting order. Kemp is struck out twice, walked his last trip. Vance trying to clap up a rally here in the Tiger 8th inning. 2-1 California. Ryan's gone all the way. Kirkwood and Drago in the bullpen for the Angels. There's a high foul. It'll be out of play. Drifting into the upper deck. Back of the Tiger dugout. Now bounced down right in front of the Tiger dugout. Strike 1, the count on Kemp. Be out here tomorrow with us. Enjoy Big League Baseball. Sports best bargain right here at Tiger Stadium. And on Friday, the Bird comes back into action facing Seattle. Here's the strike 1 delivery. Kemp takes the ball wide. The 1-1 the count on him. It'll be Roberts and Tanana pitching tomorrow, a duel of left-handers. Here's the motion and the 1-1 delivery. Fastball on the inside corner. Oh, Kemp didn't like that one and almost hit him. And I think that's about as hard as Ryan has thrown tonight. 1-2, the count on Steve Kemp. He's walking around in the circle now to the first base side of the plate. Left hand on his hip, holding the bat in his right hand, not quite ready to get back in. Leading it off in the 8th against Nolan Ryan. Steve Kemp waiting, and the pitch. He swings a little roller, hit the first base, and go foul. Glove down there by Jackson in foul territory right in the coach's box. We've got a final now. Pittsburgh beats the Mets 5-2. Royce the winner, 1-5. Matlack takes the loss. He's 3-4. Oh, the Pirates defeat the New York Mets. That's our first night final from the National League. 1-2, the count on Steve Kemp. And the pitch on the way. He swings and misses. Got him on a fastball. The 9th strikeout for Nolan Ryan. Jason Thompson will bat now. He's walked, singled, and popped to shortstop. Tigers' only run came in the 4th on a single by Thompson, a single by Cochran. They moved up on a wild pitch, and then Thompson scored when May hit a ground ball to third baseman Chalk. Stanley walked below the bases, but after the walk to Verizon, Mankowski hit into a double play. The walk to Verizon that loaded the bases, and then Mankowski hit into a double play. Ball 1 outside on Jason. Ryan ready, winds and delivers, and Thompson swings. It's a pop-up foul back of third. Chalk chasing. He's there, and he has it for the out. 2 down, nobody on. The Tigers still can't get to Nolan Ryan. Young Tim Corcoran will be the batter. He's fly to left, single and walk. 1 for 2 for Tim. Wearing Norman Norman Cash's old number, 25. Cochran got his start at Bristol and Lakeland in 74, then Montgomery the next 2 years, and started this year at Evansville. Swings and fouls it away. Out of play back at third. Tigers signed him as a free agent off the California State at Los Angeles campus. Tim spreads out at the plate. Ryan delivers. There's a ball outside. He fed him a fastball. 1-1 the count on Corcoran. Tigers had a single in the first inning and then back-to-back singles in the fourth. They've not had a hit since then. And the pitch. Swing, fly ball, left field. Rudy going over to his right and makes the catch. He fell down, but held on to the ball. It looked as if he might be having trouble with the lights or something, or maybe he just slipped. Anyway, he caught it, and it almost got past him. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the ninth inning. California 2, Detroit 1.
You're the designated hitter in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. Which Yankee batter holds the team mark for the highest batting average in a single season? Think it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's Blue. The highest batting average in the season for a Yankee is held by the Bambino himself, Babe Ruth. He hit .393 in 1923. Great moments in sports. Everybody has their favorites. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt's Blue. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
If you're listening to Radio 76 in the afternoon between 3 and 6, what you're going to get is the Afternoon Music Hall. Mark Avery inviting you to be part of it here on WJR Radio.
Off in the California ninth inning, the Angels ahead with 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The Tigers have 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Chalk 0 for 3. He was at bat when Flores was caught off first base to in the 8th inning. Left-hander Hiller delivers. It's a foul out of play up the mid of May. Hiller has been brilliant tonight. There's no question about that. 2 Texas League singles set up the scoring in the second inning. Rudy led off with 1, then took second on a single by Bonds, both the same variety. And then after Baylor fouled out, Jackson singled in the run, and the sacrifice by Gritch got in the other one. Here's a fly ball to right center. Stanley digging, dives, and he can't come up with it. Chalk makes a big turn, scoots on back to first base. Great effort by Stanley. Got his glove on the ball, but as he slid, it got underneath him for a base hit by Chalk. That'll be the 5th hit off Hiller. He's always been a very tough hitter against the Tigers. Stepping in, right-hand batting outfielder. Kirkwood and Hartzell are throwing in the bullpen now. For California, the Tigers have Gurley back in their bullpen. Going to work. Now, time called by the first base umpire, Jim Evans. Here's Rudy stepping in. And he bumps the ball down toward third base. Fielded by Hiller, comes off the mound, gloves it, throws to Fouet, who's covering the bag at first. It is a sacrifice, moving Chalk to second. Manager Norman Cherry trying to play for that 1 run at a time. He's got a 1-run lead. He'd like to get another one. Runs have been hard to come by for each team in this game. That'll be a sacrifice. The play will go the pitcher to the second baseman covering the bag at first.
Looks like they're going to put him on.
Bobby Bonds won't get a chance. They'll walk him with first base open. Choosing to pitch to Baylor and try to get the double play. Crawford begins to heat up in the bullpen now alongside Steve Gurley. The Tigers have a right-hander and a left-hander throwing out there. And the walk is being given now to Bobby Bonds. There's ball 4. That'll be the third walk issued by Hiller. Baylor has this batting record so far. He's fouled to first, popped to shortstop, and drew a base on ball. Angels 2, Tigers 1. Ninth inning, the Angels threatening against Hiller. They've got 2 men on and 1 man down. Only in 3 innings have they had any runners. There's a strike on the inside corner. Yankees lead Boston in the 9th at New York 6-5. Set and the pitch. He swings and misses on a high hard one toward the outside. This one's been close all the way. 2 for California in the 2nd. The Tigers bounced back with 1 in the 4th off Nolan Ryan. And it has gone scoreless since then. In the 9th inning now, Hiller trying to set him down. 1 out and 2 on for the Californians in the set by John. The left-hander looks to second. He pitches. Change-up, popped in the air. Back goes Thompson. He's there. Infield fly rule is called. He makes the catch. The runners hang on. That will bring up Ron Jackson, the right-hand batting first baseman, who singled in the game's first run in the 2nd. He's lined to Perez at shortstop in the 5th inning. He drew a walk in the 7th. Cardinals lead the Phillies in the 9th inning, 7-5 at Philadelphia, at St. Louis. There's a high foul out of the ballpark, way over the grandstand back at third base. Strike 1, the count on Jackson. Chalk at second. Bonds with a big lead at first base. Thompson playing behind him. And Jackson swings and misses on the change. Way out in front of that pitch. Hiller, when he starts, goes out with a philosophy that he'll throw as hard as he can for as long as he can. And so far, he's gone into the 9th inning. John checks his sign with Milt May, and the pitch. Swung on as a long foul fly, deep left field, way back upstairs. Scrambling around in section 10 for that one. Two on, 2 out. Strike 2, the count on Jackson. Here it comes. He swings for the bounding ball to the riser. Deep short. Charges it. Gloves it. Throw to first. In time. High throw. Thompson reached up and gloved it. Hiller out of trouble in the 9th. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 2 left. A hand for John Hiller as he comes in. A magnificent pitching performance. And we go to the last half of the 9th inning. Angels 2, Tigers 1.
brief with the station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Look for fair to partly cloudy weather with widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers through Thursday. Low tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow and Thursday's high near 90. At 10:30, it's clear and 70. You're listening to WJR Detroit.
Milt May to lead off in the ninth against Nolan Ryan. He's gone all the way in this duel with John Hiller. He holds the upper hand, 2-1 the Angels. May drove in a run with a bounce out the third and the fourth inning. He walked in the second his last time up. In the sixth inning, hit into the force out. Ryan is set down the last 9 Tigers in a row. Left-handed batting, Milt May at the plate. And he takes a strike, a high, hard one. Strike one, the count on Milt. Stanley and Verizon are scheduled to follow in the Tiger ninth inning. Ryan rocks and pitches, and May takes a strike. Oh, he didn't like that call by the plate umpire Barnett. Strike 2, the count on Milt. Ryan's walked 7. He struck out 9. The wind-up, the pitch. Fastball wide, way outside. He let that one fly. Foucault throwing in the Tiger bullpen. Hartzell throwing in the California bullpen. Now the 1-2 delivery with May leading off in the Tiger ninth. He swings and misses, struck him out. Now that's 10 strikeouts for Ryan. And he goes one up on that record now that he had tied Sam McDowell for the most, well, maybe that's 10 plus. Maybe they mean 11 by that. I guess they do. You got to get one more before you can break McDowell's record of 74. Shared with McDowell.
I think what they mean is double figures,
so?
10 or more.
I'm willing to give it to him.
Yeah.
Here's Stanley. That's 10 in a row for Nolan Ryan. Mickey takes a strike. Fastball let her high. Ryan tried to hold off the Tigers. Ron LaFleur has come to the on-deck circle to bat for Verizon. One out in the Tiger ninth inning. Here's a strike on the outside corner. Seems as if Ryan sniffs the old victory here. He's getting tougher. Putting it all together. 2-1, the Angels lead, ninth inning. Nolan into action again, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He just blew it past him. Well, that's 11. Well, that's 75 times he's had more than 10 to break the old record that he shared with Sam McDowell. Now, Ron LaFleur is the Tiger hope as he steps in. LaFleur batting .238 in 33 games. Humphrey goes out to talk with his pitcher. Tigers have had not too many chances against Nolan. They left a couple of runners on in the fourth inning when the inning ended in a double play after they'd scored a run. That was their best shot at the fire-balling right-hander. Here's LaFleur at the plate against Nolan Ryan. 2-1 Angels, ninth inning. He backs him away. Ball one, the count. Mankowski waiting on deck, hoping that LaFleur can keep the game alive. Batting for Tommy Verizon. And he takes the ball outside, taking all the way. 11 in a row have gone down before Nolan Ryan. The wind-up and the pitch. It's in for a strike. He got the outside corner. 2-1 on Ron. Ryan's thrown a lot of pitches tonight. They've had that full count quite a few times. But he has been tough when he's had to be. Now, not quite ready, and LaFleur decides he'll step away from the plate. Back in now. Here's the motion by Nolan Ryan in the pitch. Swing and a foul upstairs. He got a piece of that one, and that was all. 2-2, the count on LaFleur. Ryan struck out 3 in the opening inning after a leadout single by Mankowski. And he's trying to get 3 strikeouts in a row here in the ninth. The climax is pitching performance tonight. 2-1, the Angels lead. 2 down, nobody on. And the pitch. It's a ball outside. He checks his swing. Full count. Now Ryan looking back at the outfield there around the right on Ron LaFleur. Waiting on a 3-2 delivery. Here it comes. He swings and misses. The game's over. And California wins the opening game of the series. 12 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan. He struck out the side 1, 2, 3 in the ninth inning, and the final score: the Angels 2, the Tigers 1.